with the kind of game plan of Liquid. They just need to round out their draft with, like Kyle mentioned, either one aura buyer or at least some big damage dealer to offset Liquid's desire to, play as a group. So
yeah, I could even see something wild like a Pugna come out, though I do believe it's unlikely. And we shall see. It really depends on what they want to do here. You could even, in theory, as you said, Chiefs, pick Nyx, make it Seb's hero, take on No Tail last pick, but I just don't think that that's likely. It's really, where do you feel you're going to get the most value out of your draft? And I just think ranged or heavy damage offlaner is best here with the Nyx, which then frees him up to maybe help out mid, check runes if necessary.
Is Enigma still available? Did they not? Oh yeah, Enigma's still available.
They could
just kind of like AFK farm Enigma right up, Oh wow, they go for the Shaker. So it is most likely the Pos 3 Nyx then, like we mentioned?
Yep. That's very... So this is the style of OG we haven't really seen too much this season, but it's very much like 3 supports plus 2 big cores.
All right, here's the big brain plan. Is this where OG actually puts it like Nyx 4, Weaver offlane, Earthshaker 5 with a carry IO enabling the mid Topson troll with the offlane Weaver eventually going Ags to get the unkillable Topson.
They did it!
Oh my God.
Best of ones.
Oracle Guys, it's a freaking best of one. They pull out the Huskar. Like you see mid ones, like there's smiles all around. You gotta be ready for that, I guess. But a Koik for Huskar. Oh my goodness.
The key thing here is there isn't good lockdown with Liquid outside of like the rupture to stop them moving, so that the OG will have to play around the kite. You have this movement kind of advantage on OG's heroes. It's simply Huskar. How good is it against Troll? We haven't seen Huskar in ages.
Oh my God, yeah, seriously. It's that same concept though, but it's so much better than you'd feel playing like in comparison to a Leshrac. Huskar is like, I don't care about any of this magic.
Dude, the heroes have been picked at all, man. It's been position for jungle, Kyle. We don't know what it does in the...
Dude, I don't either. Like, you don't see it coming. No one's going to be able to see this coming because while it's a combination that's been incredible throughout Dota lore, it's like so rare. Like, is Huskar good? I don't even know. I haven't seen it.
I mean, this is... Let's find out in a best of one game, right? So there's not that much on the line, right?
I'm just so sorry for the team.
This is so risky.
Like, imagine Liquid scrims this week. They're like, okay, we need one hero to practice Huskar. So every team that scrimmed them, they've had no knowledge gained because they've been getting Huskar'd over and over again until Liquid's ready. Like, okay, we're now ready for the best of one.
But apparently it works though. I mean, you can't pull this out in the game like this when you don't know for sure if it works. Right?
Oh, we'll see. Because if they lose, then we can maybe we can pick on that.
All right. Well, it is time. We're gonna me and T are gonna leave you, Kyle. You're gonna be joined by OD Pixel for this first best of one of the tiebreaker. Enjoy, guys. OG versus Liquid. It's a Huskar game. Fun times all around. Enjoy.
We certainly will. Yeah, looking forward to the games today. We're going to have a lot of fun best of ones, and what better way to start it, really? OG versus Liquid. Kyle, this Huskar comes into play. I mean, as you said, sure, we've not seen a lot, if any, of sort of the mid-Huskar for quite some time. Do you believe in it, or do you think this is definitely Liquid taking more of the risk out of these two drafts?
Honestly, I think the Shaker pick from OG was the biggest risk.
Okay. What, putting it in the offlane or just where it goes?
I think I'm more confident in Huskar, any role, than I am offlane Shaker nowadays. It just feels like it's sort of lost its luster. I loved playing that way back in the day, but it's just so much weaker in the laning phase now, especially against pretty much any hero Liquid would put up against it. And it's just, honestly don't know. I'm just hyped because this is one of those games you really don't know who the hell's going to win until you see it play out.
Sure. And this Huskar, I think there's going to be a lot of potential for Huskar because you got to remember as well, Kyle. I know, I'm sure you know it already, but refresh yourself. Have a look at the Huskar Aghanim Shard and tell me that's not amazing against IO, Weaver, and Troll.
Oh my goodness. That is pretty good. And I know Liquid, like shout out to Jabs and Blitz and the rest of the squad. They're all huge nerds. So I am sure they're very aware of that and perhaps even see this shard as an IO counter because of it.
I mean, it's got to be what, 50% reduction, dude. That's, you're not hitting that with many items. Well, I get, obviously best, but that's a big number on a spell that you're going to be able to throw out pretty nicely. I mean, it's already, 11% cooldown. Did you get a cooldown?
Yep, 3 seconds.
Yeah. No, wait, no, that's on the life break. It's and the shard is on the NFI, remember, Kyle?
Yeah,
so that's the Q, Kyle.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, okay, we're good.
I must have misheard. It's all good. It's all good. Look, okay, mid. This is the matchup that I wasn't sure about. The Troll versus Huskar.
Sure.
I think should be Huskar favored, but I'm not. I don't know. And he actually went for the Q first. There it is already. So I think that might give him a bit of an edge because it's such a low mana, high damage spell. Top lane's the one I'll probably check out just because I feel like this Void Spirit Oracle is going to have a field day with this Earthshaker.
See how much Seb can get out of this lane against Mickey and Insania. And down on the bottom, you know, No-Tail supporting up mid one. I mean, into the Bloodseeker Earth Spirit lane, is this somewhere that, you know, mid one's going to farm all right, or Liquid going to be able to put any pressure on Steve?
I think it's a bit of a trade. You can already see Taiga just pulling creeps and messing with the mechanics. So it's not real Dota being played down here just yet. I think top, you're going to have more straight up brawling. You can already see Stab forced to salve.
Quite a two of them. See how well Saxa can face it to hold back and stay here and eventually a lot of the burst. But when that burst is there, Mickey and Insane, good shot of getting the jump on them. Got to be careful, and they've got to save their stuns defensively. In fact, good angle to going on to Mickey, but now Mickey's ready to turn. He puts down the Brett and he's grabbed back Saxa. As Liquid, they'll be able to secure that first blood in this lane that you did anticipate is going to be a little difficult for OG.
For sure. And the thing is, you know, we saw Taiga in a couple of games under the Spirit straight up win all 3 lanes for Liquid. That's going to be where his eye is at, because Seb, with this build, he can be formidable in the laning phase, but he has to be in a position of strength to get those enchants off in melee range. If Taiga shows up, like, he just dies to the 3 stun lane.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And that's the beauty of these pulls. Like, in theory, if you can get lane control for Boxy, as we see he's acquired, now he's going to go look at middle. There's another really active lane he could play around. Huskar does a ton of damage to a hero like Troll.
Radiant are scanning.
Tiger, the angle here, but it's going to be scanned out. Do you know exactly what's going on around mid? Let's just get Tiger out of this area. Thompson's safe to keep farming as best he can against Kuiper, and so far, so good really in this lane. You know, we've seen obviously in the past, Huskar picked and drawing heroes in the 1v1, but here in this matchup, Thompson keeping the CS pretty much even against Kuiper's Huskar.
Yep. It's so tense. I can feel it. Because obviously these teams are going to be favored to win out the tiebreaker. Tundra have the luxury of waiting and watching to see if their match upcoming against OG will be a must-win for them.
He's got this. I mean, he's got the backup of No-Tail. He's diving in onto Kuiper. Regen's going to be too much for him to fight through those level 2 Berserker's blood, allowing Kuiper to survive. Thompson trying to get in yet again. He really wants to get in on top of Kuiper with the melee hits if he can. See if he can close this gap. He's going to have another slow in a few seconds. No-Tail keeping him safe. And now Kuiper, he's just going to turn towards No-Tail. No-Tail's going to get pushed back. Kuiper still alive. They just don't have the damage to kill the Huskar at the moment between the two of them, and they've got to be careful. Tiger by Kuiper's side. Thompson, he's got to get out of there.
He got Helm of Iron Will delivered as that second attempt went down, so there's just no way you're going to kill him anymore with all that regen. 15 HPS, it was even more under the tower, plus the armor boost, of course. Taiga uncharacteristically missing a couple rolls, but oh, now the offlane's here.
Yeah, they've got the backup. Wow. And with that, they're just going to be able to blow up Thompson. A nice little move up from Boxy as he comes to join the forces and get the kill top lane. They might just be able to burst step off from Seb, trying to get Mickey instead. Simulate off the side, Mickey's away over the fissure. The south going, Mickey be able to bat away.
Seb going for the wrong dissimulate portal, but you know, can't blame him. Mickey not gonna play into his hands. And keep in mind, with all this brawling that's happening mid and top, the reason Boxy can connect for kills like that, he's got 2 points in Thirst. When 3 enemy heroes are all, you know, under 40% HP, he's suddenly moving in haste. And here's the TP we're talking about.
Tiger can set up onto Seb as they're going to have the hold here. Insania with the root to line things up. Tiger gets the kick, gets the slow off. Seb, he's got a few stick charges. Is it going to be enough to help him? It isn't. Seb will go down. Liquid get the kill, and around these rune timings as well, they get the one from the river. Saxo's triangle. We'll block the camp. No. Ward down.
So much fun. I'm gonna miss this when it's gone, Owen. Like, this is our last day of EU Dota.
Tiger still got the bounty rune. Stacks, I
Wait,
guess
what? Oh, he left it.
He left it. I guess he did. Yeah, Topson had a bottle. He was leaving it for Topson, but Tiger, he gets the window to go in and take the bounty rune for Liquid.
Nice.
So Liquid, yeah, end up getting 3 of the 4 bounty runes there with Saxa leaving that one for Topson. And of course, this leaves Topson with an empty bottle. You get there in time.
Yep. That's the thing about playing against Huskar mid. You have to go for these more unconventional styles, because if you can't spam axes, you just can't lane. Like, look how aggressive Koif is allowed to play. You can't really trade with him unless he's missing most of his hits. Also, of course, an orb attack, so you can do this without being annoyed by creep mechanics. One of the reasons Viper is such a formidable laner. Huskar has the same benefit. Yep.
Cause further issues for Topson. Still, as we say, Topson against the pressure, he's matching the farm. A very good job here compared to what a lot of other heroes would have to suffer with against a Huskar.
No-tail TP tier 2 mid. He's ready for some kind of aggression to come out. They want to be careful with Koif's DD. The one sacrifice, though, so far for Liquid is Boxy's game isn't going great. Mid 1, top 35 and 14. So he's doing just fine. And he's also doing a very greedy build, rushing Maelstrom. So Bloodseeker will have a better matchup going on to the game, but mid 1's going to get really big really fast. And we have not seen this Wisp Weaver combination lose. Keep that in mind. So a lot of emphasis now on mid 1 and his importance in this game.
Trying to have another go on to Seb. They've got the level 6 on Mickey. Jumps in with the Astral Step. Saxa is by Seb's side, though. We'll make sure that they can't dive in further for the kill now. Mid 1, he's ready for the counterplay. They know that Mickey used a lot of mana to jump in, but he's still got enough to jump out once more. Mid 1 won't get the kill, but he's going to be happy to himself and start farming on this top lane where put some pressure onto Liquid.
I'm not so sure about that, Owen. I don't think mid 1 wants to be here.
Down bottom, or?
Yeah, I mean, consider his build. Again, like, he went straight Javelin, Maelstrom, no real stats. Like, this is a very squishy hero, and he's now rotated to a lane where there's no ability to put tower pressure out just yet. Yeah, Seb is going to go bottom and trade, but this is a level 7 Bloodseeker. I don't think you're going to be happy down here as Seb. He needs at least 6 to be really able to contest.
Well, yeah, we'll see, because, I mean, at the moment, 8 minutes in, 3-0. Quid with that slight lead. Showing them coming off the back of the landing stage a little stronger than that of OG.
Is under attack.
Still very early days and very close. And OG yet to really go for their first play.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
And No-Tail, or rather, Insania did get the bottle fill on Mickey, so we've now transitioned into this 3-on-3. Seb bottom. You know, perhaps this is just what OG want. They just want to swap the lanes. Like, this does make sense when you consider that Taiga is now locked into his lane. And yeah, Liquid want no part in this. They're going to rotate right back. They want to go take out Seb and ensure that they can have a more skirmish-centered game.
Tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Allowing any chance of Tiger and Mickey to jump in on it.
He placed that ward himself when he TP'd down just above his tower. That saves him there. I think he felt it as well, but got confirmation from the vision.
Tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Bit of an attempt on Tiger, it's hard, but they've got a fish ace, they've got Saxa here as well. A couple of stuns, they get a root, they'll certainly have it, and they do. Straight away, allowing Seb to close in, keep him locked down with the enchant totem.
Koifa has his armlet complete, though, and he found arguably the best item for a Huskar this early on, the Possessed Mask. So taking him down is now incredibly difficult. Mickey's still farming, but I will feel, I don't you feel like Liquid have the emphasis here? Like, they are the ones that need to take towers. They've got to be more aggressive, because, I mean, we've seen this with Weaver scale.
Yeah, absolutely.
Weaver troll, I mean, levels 20, 25 plus, like, this gets out of hand really fast.
No, for sure, yeah. If OG's able to keep this game in a pretty stable position, they're definitely going to be having the upper hand later on. And the Huskar's still going to be a nuisance in the late game because of these disarms and the reduction of health, healing and regeneration, but no, it's not necessarily going to win you the game when you're level 25. Liquid. Got to keep this pressure high. They're going to be able to catch mid. Great way to do it. Find the Weaver, they take him out. DD rune as well, spawning top. And with that armlet, there is also that opportunity for that Roche attempt if Koifa feels confident enough to go for it.
Structures are fortified.
I'm not so sure. It's so risky is the thing. Like, OG's lineup can
Radiant's
play so
bottom tower
fast.
has fallen.
Sure, well, you don't think we're going to see Liquid try and rush,
Unless, or you smoke into it. Oh.
And you know, here you go. You got a DD, dude. You got your armlet. It's nice and early. You've just killed off the Weaver. You go for the road.
So risky.
Yeah, but it's one of those things. The payoff's going to be pretty huge if you can get an Aegis on your Huskar 10 minutes in.
You don't know.
And I think they can do it easy. They've got targeted tanks, so this is going to be an easy rush. They're going to have this one, no problem. And, you know, this is just such an important thing to pick up when you're trying to win the game in the fashion that Liquid is.
Because it's not even about, like, this first Roche, it's very nice, don't get me wrong. But it also accelerates the timing of the second and third Roche. And consider, Liquid should have an edge here for at least the next 15 minutes of this game. Now you have this edge, you'll get towers off it, but that second Roche could spawn pre-20 minutes. Like, that is absurd. Suddenly it's 30 minutes in, someone's getting a free Ags. Like, that is game-changing. Assuming you're able to maintain control of the game, of course.
To my temple. Shake down.
And we'll manage to get the lockdown onto Mickey, dropping the slap. So they can take him out. Mid lane, though, this dive, this aggression, you know, with the Aegis, they're ready to do this. Jumping in. Towers cannot be held, and Thompson's going to lose his life off the back of trying to stick around for this. Because now Liquid, they can really force for these objectives. I mean, if you're OG in this position, what's sort of the plan? You see the Tuskar taking towers with the Aegis. Do you sort of just have to let Liquid take what they want, or what's the plan?
Check out bottom lane, you can see the plan. Seb's just got the plan acquired. Level 4 Aftershock, Blink Dagger acquired. No Echo, of course, but now all of a sudden Liquid have to be real cautious with their team fighting.
Saxa. Oh, very nice. I mean, the power of the Vendetta there, getting him whilst he's low on the old strength. So that will take the Aegis away pretty soon after pickup. So Liquid only able to achieve tier 1 mid. Koifa just not being careful enough and prepared for Saxa to be watching out for him.
Yep.
As Saxa takes away the Aegis as easily as that.
Yep. Another thing to note, you know, pre-nerf, Nyx would have been seen as a bit of an answer to the Huskar because the break mechanic, that is no longer there. Vendetta hit, however, is about 350 pure damage. So you've got to be cautious if you're Koifa with your toggling. And it just makes the game a little more difficult to play because if you are at that 1 HP threshold, you kind of have to always be toggling once you hit that 350 HP mark, but you can still technically die if Sox is already, you know, in front of you, invis. Stop canceling his right click. But look at Insania though. Like, this is the benefit. This is why you take the Oracle, because he's just now going to play like a yo-yo and just stay in the vicinity of Koifa. Make sure he can play as aggressively as he wishes. Tiger just magnetized to farm a stack, so I don't expect Liquid will make any moves that quickly. It's OG, it feels, who are on the more aggressive. Oh wow, look, Thompson's build. Mage Slayer queued up.
He loves it, doesn't he? Pour on some of his mid builds.
Dire's top tower.
I mean, it's a nice item, right? It makes sense all around. Bit of magic resistance. Yeah. I mean, great on these sort of melee carries.
It does make sense too. You know, mid one's your carry. And Thompson, even in his leveling up, like Berserker's Rage max, Axe's max, you know, not going for the more passive farming build where you put more points fervor. Phase boots, a wand, like this is the fighting build. He is going to be the frontliner and have faith in mid one to ultimately deal enough damage to win his team the game. Nice scan there from No Tail.
Top No Tail. He should go down here, Boxy, with that ATOS complete. Has that additional control. Make sure that there's no chance for a tether to safety.
Yeah, big fan of that item here. Boxy just on the bug squashing squad because that is his role here. He wants to ATOS into silence, wants to get the rupture off. Do not let mid one just freely carry this game. Mickey maybe in some trouble. But wait, what? Thompson?
He just walked around on the high ground. This is some aggression here from Thompson. He's going to get ruptured. See if he can get out of this. He's going to try TP, but they've got the control. He gets the ult off in time, but they'll be able to kite this out. As, yeah, Thompson just... Oh, yeah, they get the save! Oh, okay.
That's sick. I don't know if you can bet this. You've got rupture now.
Oh. All right, I mean, can they go for a round two? There's just going to be No Tail letting his life go. There's just going to be No Tail. Bailing out Thompson there big time.
But that's huge because they win the bounty runes for that. If Liquid get that kill, they can take a commanding position and then get both of the Radiant topside bounties. Instead, it's now a 2-for-2 split at best for Liquid. And they don't get the core. What a save. Isn't level 1 reload 3.5 seconds on the channel time.
My path leads to
Still gets it off.
Top lane. Liquid look elsewhere for action. They're moving in onto Seb and Saxa. Rotovatos into the blood right. Seb's got to run. Quakefer, he's going to jump over towards Saxa. From the side though, Thompson, he's already in onto the back lines. He's closed the gap onto Instania. Instania having to use the false promise to save Boxy. As Instania, he will go down for this. If Liquid can get back in onto Thompson, Quakefer jumps across. Get the stab off Thompson. Caught in the dissimilate. He gets burst down. Seb comes in with a slam, but he's not enough damage. Quakefer's still good to go. He turns. He takes down Thompson. Mid-one gets the time up top just in time, but Boxy's feeding into him. Tiger onto the side for Saxa finishes him off with a vendetta hit. As they've lost 3 Liquid, Mid-one ever so low. Mickey jumps in with the astral step, takes him out. Remnant off the mark. No-Tail's able to deny the DD rune. And he's trying to beat into Mickey. Seb and Stacks are on their way over as Boxy is low. Fisher set up. Seb blinks in, close the gap. They've got the setup, but they've got enough damage. No, Boxy, stick charges, keep him alive. And he's out of there, over to the side. Spike campers will hit him, but it's not enough to kill him. Mickey still doing the aggressive work. Jumps in onto Seb with the dissimilate. At the end of it all, Liquid, they will get the final few kills, and they're about to get another hit with No-Tail soon to be returning. They set up, being prepared. As soon as he's in, he's out once more. Liquid will keep themselves on top of the kills.
Man, these fights are wild. Oh my god. Like, that was so sick from OG. They split Liquid. They had Insania caught in the river. So he's forced to then use ultimate on Boxy just because he recognizes, I'm going to die. I'm going to just give up my life because I have no hope here. That leaves then Koifa exposed. But, you know, you're Huskar. It doesn't matter if Oracle's, like, out of the picture. You're fighting until you die, and that's exactly what he did. But Insania respawns in time to save Boxy.
Thompson, he stepped up to try and farm in the river. They get the jump on him. He's been mass silenced.
What?
I mean, it's so hard for him to play his game now because Mickey's got this early axe. And he's got to respect that. Anytime he steps up to farm like this, they're easily going to be able to keep him controlled. And between, you know, the 2 resonant pulses, the geomagnetic grip, they're just going to be able to make sure that he has no chance to pop the battle chunk.
Yes. I know. The big timing coming up is Roshan could start spawning in just a minute's time. If you're OG, I don't think you're ready to fight that yet unless Seb gets a hero echo off. You know, he's going to need to be channeling those TI9 Axe vibes because this game is looking pretty rough for OG. They're still not out of it by any means, but I mean, mid-one doesn't really come online until later levels. Maelstrom, Sanjay, Yasha just isn't really going to do it. And he's running.
Gonna look for the setup here onto No-Tail, kicking him back whilst Ruptured Tiger able to put an end to No-Tail's life.
Is under attack.
Mean pressure, not really much tower pressure put out thus far by OG. They're gonna get mid soon. It's in deny range, but it's a tough game for them. Like Thompson's damage output isn't really there. He did just find a Quicksilver amulet, which is great. You pretty much always have a spell on cooldown, so just free attack speed and move speed.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Seb as Arcane really wants level 12 before the next fight.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Line up. And that
Dire's
momentum
bottom
that
tower is
they
under
drafted
attack.
for here, 18 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, Halberd on Koifa now with the treads, like he is huge.
Radiant's top
You need more
tower is
time if you're
under
OG.
attack.
Your late game should win out,
Dire's
but you
bottom
just
tower
need more
is
time.
under
Huskar is just too damn tanky right now, especially if Insania is still alive behind him.
Up to the side, Boxy. He's trying to get in onto Seb. Tiger, he's able to roll in, close the gap onto the shaker. Quakefer jumps in. Seb, he's going to get down before he gets a single spell onto the Fisher off. Seb's out. Liquid having so many ways to gap close, really, as you can see. Quakefer leaping in.
Radiant's top tower is
Look
under
at their
attack.
wording.
Straight for him.
They are playing this Radiant Triangle, controlling Ancients, and they have 3 wards just surrounding them, keeping them safe and providing vision on where OG is. They kind of have to swap this up a bit. I think you've got to Steve top now, put mid-one and No-Tail into this bottom area of the map. They're going to get mid-tower. Yeah, just swipes the last hit. Would have been denied otherwise. Good job by mid-one.
Dire are scanning.
Trying to farm up his BKB. Oh, with these amount of silences and control in the game, the fights are becoming pretty much impossible for Thompson without that amount of got to get that done. Take the tier 2 tower. How long on the Roche? It's going to be a minute and a half for the respawn. So Liquid very soon to be be able to continue controlling this area. Make sure that they're going to have a
Dire's
solid
bottom
chance
tower
of
is under
taking
attack.
that for the second time this game.
Yep. You can see just how methodical they're playing this game. Like, okay, it's the simple script to winning is Dire. You get ahead, you get Roche, you control
Dire's
enemy
bottom
triangle,
tower
and you
is
take
under
next Roche
attack.
immediately where possible. And find kills along the way. I mean, Soxa, you're in no man's land. He did buy his blink right before he died, though, which is good. But yeah, I think this is the 5th or 6th time we've just seen an OG hero die inside the turret.
Dire's
Thompson.
courier has been killed.
He's got to get out of it. No-Tel, he is going to be able to take him away. As No-Tel gets him out in time with the
Dire's
relocate.
courier has
That
been
resonant,
killed.
that was 100 units off from just silencing No Tail and potentially landing a kill on the troll.
Won't have any chances himself, but keeping Thompson alive here right now.
That ownage is underway.
That BKB done.
Yep.
He's about halfway there.
Thing is, how will it change? Liquid are very close to their BKBs as well. Mickey at like 1,000 gold. Boxy.
Restore the void.
Oh, sorry. Mickey and Boxy are both like 1,600 gold away.
Tiger. He gets the angle. Saxa trying to come in and get some rune control around this mid lane. But they've caught him.
A condition for ownage.
As again, as you said, this whole area of the map is just a huge area of death, really, for OG every time anyone comes over. And now they're into Roche. And with the one member down, OG stand very little chances of doing anything about this. This should be an Aegis and Achieves for Liquid. No problem here. Just 22 minutes in.
Yeah, you just can't contest this right now. Koifa is indestructible. And while Thompson, I'm a big fan of Mage Slayer as an item concept, especially in this game. His damage output isn't there. In a game that's become so passive, he's starting to fall behind a bit just because he doesn't really have anything to help him last to push through these creep waves. But Mage Slayer, consider like Huskar, Void Spirit, Bloodseeker, all of these heroes have a lot of spell damage based DPS. Like Huskar's spears are what really start to hurt you. And Void Spirit specifically, you know, that's all spell damage because of the way the hero functions. But now a DD on Mickey. He's going to have his BKB finished very soon. And I think if you're Liquid, you might not be able to go high ground, but you're going to start just trying to get these tier 2s. You want to control
Radiant's
both
middle
outposts
tower
at
is
30
under
minutes.
attack.
And if you're OG, just keep
Dire's
doing what you're doing,
courier
right?
has been
Just
killed.
split the map. You've got Thompson and No Tail bottom. Mid one just cut mid wave by the tier 3, and the other 2 heroes are top. This is all you really have to do here.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Time for the high ground push here.
Radiant's middle tower
Just
is under
cheese.
attack.
What's OG got
Dire's
at the
top
moment
tower
ready to
is
put a
under
stop
attack.
to this? Cutting creep waves. And there's already some creeps here. We're going to see Saxon try and jump forward and clean them out. He's going
Radiant's
to
middle tower is
give his
under
life on
attack.
that. And the range creep is kept alive. There's still a creep here.
Radiant's middle
So
tower
Liquid can
is
keep on
fallen.
pushing.
Dire's bottom tower
As they
is
couldn't
under
quite
attack.
get rid of the whole wave.
Dire's
Oh my god, this
structures
one
are
range creep is the
fortified.
hero of this entire push. Like,
Radiant's middle
that's a
barracks
Rax.
has fallen.
Liquid just took a Rax.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Not much that OG could do in
Radiant's middle
response. Thompson,
barracks are under
he's able to get the tier 2 bottom. That
Radiant's
will
middle
pretty much give him the money for the
barracks has
BKB. So now OG, they have their 2 BKBs on their cores. The question is how much of a difference that's really going to make in these fights as Liquid only getting further and further ahead. And still with that Aegis and Cheese ready for easily the next fight. There's only a tier 2 left on the map on the outer layers.
It's not looking good for OG at the moment. They're just not online. Weaver might have BKB, but the trouble is that your offensive damage output just isn't there. It's the criticism that Weaver as a hero concept has faced for years. And typically with the Wisp, you're able to play so fast, like you have tempo control, you get that item advantage. Oh, you guys behind it goes Ben Wolf.
He's going to jump to the solo echo slam on a Mickey. They're going to look to blow the voice spirit. They'll be able to do so. They throw everything down onto him and they take him out. Thompson, he's going in for more. Did put the battle trance pretty early, so now he's just got the BKB alone to rely on. We'll see if it's enough. And he's moving in onto Koifa. Jump forward from Step. Step lays down the Fisher onto the back lines. He's locking down Instania, but now Koifa, so he's got his own BKB good to go. They will lose Instania. Tiger getting in the midst of it all, getting the magnetize out as well. Koifa ready to dive in onto Seb. Seb will forward. Koifa still alive. He's able to clean up. It's a triple kill for Koifa. Midone, he's got to get the hell out of there, but he's been dusted, rotted. They've got the slow. The blood right is down. Midone, can he get out in time? Another Shikuchi will save him, but No Tail's left behind. As Koifa will be able to deal with the IO, and they even still get the catch on mid-one as they take him down as well. Koifa with the Ultra, it's a team wipe. as Liquid
Spout.
very easily able to respond to that attempt from OG to get out as they chose to try and fight into this Aegis and Chi.
You kind of had to if you were OG. You saw a window. You had a 5-on-4 engagement. Bounty runes were spawning. Unfortunately, Liquid, they're going to get all 4 now, plus that huge teamfight win. You can see the issue is the damage output. Koifa, he just doesn't die. By the time you get his Aegis, he's killed 3 of you. And that's just not enough. They need another item on Weaver. They need another item on Troll before they can even really hope to even think about contesting this Huskar right now. Level 18. Jeez, he's gonna have AC completed soon. Oh my god, this guy's out of control. What a last pick. 11, 1, and 4. This is why we squealed a bit. This is wild. Bo1, Oracle Huskar. Insane is cheating.
What year is it? Some of the old stuff coming here. Quite Free was
Radiant's bottom
very much one of the players
attack.
you had to watch out for. Sort of strat and hero pick potential past, and going to show that 2021, this hero still definitely working in these last pick situations.
It's also when Weaver's BKB, even Troll's BKB fade, they're still susceptible to the AoE disarm from the Troll, or from the Huskar rather.
Oh yeah.
It's a 4-second AoE disarm plus the Halberd, which is then another 5 seconds on the Weaver if he's caught by it. So in the BKBs, it's not even about their defensive tool necessarily. It's that if you aren't, you literally can't attack any of these enemy Liquid heroes. And in theory, you want to find pickoffs. You want to play a 3-and-2 style, relocate in, or Weaver find somebody, then there's a dunk. But Liquid, they're just holding hands. They're 5 heroes. Taiga is going to join late, but, look, what are you going to find him in the base? No,
They go in.
Outpost now.
He's looking for Insania. Insania will get taken out. Got forward over towards Quite, but they've got the control. Have they got the damage? Quite, he's able to put the keys. The BKB jumps over towards Saxon. Thompson with an early battle chance. He's trying to beat down Boxy and Quite, but he hasn't got enough damage. Saxon will get caught in the blood right. Thompson, he's been pushed away from the rest of his team. Mickey, he's able to get the jump in, and Thompson without a BKB and without a battle chance, he's incredibly vulnerable. Quaitfer leaps across, takes out Thompson, and he's ready to chase down more here with Boxy looking for the setup onto mid-1. Mid-1 up in the time lapse. Anyway, to catch him after Shikuchi Tiger's looking for the angle. Won't have to reach those. And mid-1 will manage to get himself back to safety. Another fight though where it's just OG losing heroes. Liquid barely even being scratched here as they remain unharmed and ready to push the high ground.
It wasn't on our camera, but Taiga's the reason they get that kill on Troll. He had a 3-man Magnetize going and got a silence off. So Seb, all of a sudden, he's Magnetized, can't blink, can't cast. There's no help coming for Thompson. They just had to run away.
And there's the jump, Saxa. Trying to help out with the defense. BK is getting in to pack straight away. Seb, of course, still having the Echo Slam. Quakefoot, BKB on cooldown for 5 seconds, so soon to have it ready again for another round. Can they find any sort of job? Vicious setup, Seb not wanting to go in yet. He is low, but he's still very aware of the backup potential from Insania. As the false promise is going to come out now. A little concerned with Quakefoot taking as much damage as he was on the front lines. Now Liquid are trying to back away, Seb. Another Fisher. Quakefoot, I mean, the power of the false promise there. Full HP as it comes to an end.
Insane made sure to salve him there as well. Dude, there's no way you're dying. I like that decision. The only, Liquid are one mistake ahead right now. You just have to make sure there's no scenario where Huskar dies or Mickey die without being able to be saved. Then you get 2 other heroes on exit kills. Suddenly OG take map control. They place wards. If you let a Wisp Weaver team back into the game, things get really dicey because suddenly your attention is split around the map. They want to maintain this style. They want to be 5. They want to play around the next Roche spawn, which could be pre 30 minutes. In 40 seconds, we might have a Roche spawn.
Dire are scanning.
Very fast timing. So Liquid, I know OG's trying to get out on the map. Pup. Ready to jump. See it fine to start things off. Saxon trying to scout things with the Vendetta. We'll dispel some of the smoke. And they'll put the dust. As soon as they see him, they pounce. Bringing on to Saxa, but this does give the info for the rest of OG to play out of here. No tail, he's going to relocate mid-1. Down towards the bottom.
Look at this TP.
Is that Boxy? He's ready to fight as soon as he sees this. Come in. They've got any way to catch these 2 mid-1 out to the side. Yet again, no tail. We'll be able to take him back up to the top lane, which up here it's not totally quiet. Mickey and Quakefoot are still around here with Insania. Seb's making his way over as well. Remember to set him onto mid-1 Seb. He's going to look for an angle. Fisher, you stop quite from beating into No-Tail, but No-Tail, he will
Dire's
still
bottom
fall.
tower is under attack.
Liquid claim the life with the eye down bottom. Thompson's he's trying to hit the tier 3s. I mean, he's going with the BKB, and he'll be able to TP out before the BKB comes to an end. So a little bit of damage done by Thompson with the split.
The trouble is, typically when OG play this style, they're able to get kills. Like, they can outplay you around the map. The trouble is that Liquid's heroes are all just too damn tanky. All 3 cores of BKB. Wherever they're most aggressively positioned, there's an Insania Oracle behind just waiting to ult somebody. So even that reload top, like, there's 2 Liquid heroes who TP bottom. They still can't exploit the 3 left top because they're just too damn strong right now. And there's an Ag Scepter on this rush.
And I assume Quoty will still be the one to take this. It's not a bad axe at all. I think that single target. Sable's going to be very nice in the mid. The jump's been made onto Tiger. Tiger's yes going to go down. Yes, mid-1 will be able to finish him. Pumps BKB and commits onto the target. Foxy turns over towards mid-1. Mid-1 he's out for now. Shikuchi's away. Expect the Tiger buyback. Can Liquid get a jump? Tiger rolls in. He's able to get the connection onto No-Tail. Saxon turning with the stun to hold him back. Seb as well offering up Fisher as he's out. Blink to dodge the Atos. OG continue to retreat. Liquid trying their best to chase, but OG seems like they've managed to split themselves far enough away and make sure that nobody gets caught by this move.
Yeah, this Husker Ag is actually insane. Like, this might just straight up be game winning. It's a 3-second taunt.
It's very strong.
Like, if you ult in on the Shaker, like, Shaker is just dead if you're not immediately disabled, and that's impossible with the BKB up. And you can see, like, OG, they're doing what they can. They're still splitting the map. 2 tops and bottom, but at a point, Liquid, they're just looking for that window. They need 15 seconds where there's no creep waves in their base, and they can start hitting tier 3s. Thompson still playing aggressive. There's no BKB cancel on a TP, so he's free to do this, but he does have to be a little cautious.
He's going to put the BKB and he's going to fight. He's going to put the battle trance, go straight towards Boxy, but Boxy's got the middle speed. He's still got a haste rune. As Boxy, he's just kiting Thompson in pretty deep here with the battle trance, committing him as Thompson's going to get blown up for that.
Dire's middle tower.
I mean, I guess he felt maybe had the chance there to get a kill with that additional offensive potential from the battle trance, but it ends up getting him in such a disastrous position, dragging him right up and far away from any sort of save or backup.
Yeah, if he had not BKB'd, I would have understood it, but he used BKB as well, so that means you're all in. There's no chance of that BKB teleport.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And yeah, sure, you're getting some space on the map. Like, look at what mid-1's queued up. Like, he recognizes the issues they're having. Like, they need damage.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll say, like,
I mean, this could do it.
That would turn things around.
Hey, absolutely. If mid-1 could get this ratio, they can definitely turn it. Or at least have a chance of turning it. Of course, it's not going to be easy. Liquid still with a very solid lead here, 28 to 10, 13k.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
As mid lane Quoifer and Insania, they're ready to bring it straight down the mid lane and look to go towards another set of racks. 10 seconds, Thompson's back.
Well, Liquid, I will say Mickey, he has over corruption, he bought a Deso. So they're gonna and with the AC, it's a pretty big armor disparity in Liquid's favor right now.
Move on to Quoifer.
There's a reload?
I think he was split pushing top. And they slow this man down. Aegis, Cheese, and an Oracle behind him. God, Huskar to start. He's in, but there's the axe! Mid-1 has no chance to react there. As soon as Quoifer lands, Mid-1 is locked down because of the axe Huskar.
Radiant structures are
He's now out for a minute. Gotta be careful around this Huskar. Those few seconds of lockdown, you have nothing to do, you're taunted. And now the buyback comes out, Quoifer jumps over Thompson just gone! He can't press anything, you can't do anything when the Huskar arrives on your face. As Quoifer, who's he gonna go for next? He's heading over, the bash is there onto No-Tail, No-Tail's gone. Quoifer jumps over towards Thompson, Thompson does get the BKB and the battle chance off. So he's beating into Mickey pretty hard, will bring Mickey down. But now with the BKB and the battle chance ending, he's got no further ways to save himself. He's just got to rely on No-Tail to get him out of there. But there's another jump in. Quoifer diving in underneath the tier 4s, takes down Thompson, turns towards No-Tail. There's no buybacks ending OG. This game is over as Liquid will take this best of 1 victory. And they do it pure Liquid style. Quoifer's Huskar coming in last pick, and it works out exactly how I imagine they planned it to here, Kyle.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I don't even know, like, did they plan that? I gotta figure that they had an idea of Huskar being a possibility.